Hi, my name is Renee Deeter, and I am the Associate Executive Director at the Town Lake YMCA here in Austin, Texas. And I am so happy to be able to be with y'all today. I'm going to be teaching somewhat of my regular Friday senior fitness class. And I wanted to do this because I know right now we can't all be together in the same room, but I wanted to still give you guys a workout and let you know how much I miss you, how much I miss being together with you and just sharing our stories and lives together. But hopefully we can do this through this medium so that we can stay connected until we can all be back together here at the Town Lake Y. Today for our senior fitness class, I'm going to do a little bit different than we normally do because I want you to be able to do this from your own home. So a couple of things that you'll want before this workout gets started. If you have dumbbells, great. But if you don't have dumbbells, grab a couple of cans of something because those are going to be our weights today for what we're doing. And then if you want to grab a towel, like a hand towel will work, we're going to do some exercises using a hand towel instead of a band. And then lastly, if you have something heavier like a jug, maybe a jug of milk or water or juice or something like that, we'll use that for some of our exercises as well. Once you have all that stuff together, then we'll go ahead and get started. Of course, we're going to start with the warm-up. I'm not going to have music today because I want you to pick your music that you put in the background. But you know, a lot of times we're listening to some of that 50s rhythm stuff or Broadway tunes you all know are my favorites. So put some of those on as we get started here. Let's start by taking a deep breath up. Fill those lungs, reach tall for the ceiling, and a big exhale. One more time, deep breath up. And a big exhale here. And let's start by just marching in place. Starting to get that body warmed up. We want to bring that heart rate up just a little bit so we can start moving those muscles. And from here, we're going to tap that heel forward, tapping that heel, just curling those arms at the same time as we heel tap here, right there in front. All right, hopefully we're all together on this, right? Let's switch that up to a knee lift and pushing up overhead, reaching tall for the ceiling. Good, lifting those knees. If you can lift only a little bit up, that's okay, or lift them tall up to that hip height, reaching tall for the ceiling each time you lift up. Good, reaching tall and tall. Let's go back to those heels and curl right there. Same thing. We can stand tall here. We can start to bend those knees down a little bit, getting into kind of a mini squat here. Good, tapping those heels. And now we're going to switch it up and tap those toes to the side and reach those fingertips out. Reaching long, stretching the arms, stretching those toes out. Good, good. And again, we can bend those knees a little bit more, make it a little more challenging, and still reaching those toes out. Reaching out to the side. Now we're going to reach it back, and arms are reaching up. Slight tap behind you. Arms reach tall up to the ceiling. Good, stretching up. Hopefully you're feeling that body warming up. Hopefully you're starting to feel that heart rate accelerate just a little bit. And all the muscles of the body warming up here. And let's go ahead and march out again. Good, good. Let's go one more time through all of those, starting with the heel tap, curling those arms. Heel tapping here. Good, warming up the biceps as we do this. Excellent. And switch to those knee lift up, push up, reach tall for the ceiling. Good, reaching tall. Good, hopefully you're starting to get a little winded like I am, right? That means we're working. And let's go to that toe tap to the side. Reach out, fingers long. Bend those knees down if you're able to. Good, reaching long. Excellent. And last one is reach those toes back and arms reach up. Tapping back and tapping back. Good. Arms reach tall up to the ceiling. Excellent. Good. And finishing it up here. Excellent. Good. Marching back out again. Let's take those feet a little bit wide. We're going to practice our squat stance. So setting those feet down into the ground. We're going to push our hips back behind us and hands come forward like you're going to sit into a chair, but you decide not to. And so then we come to stand back up. Every time we do this squat, those knees stay right over those ankles, making sure they don't go over your toes. Sitting it back slow and then coming back up. Each time pushing your hips down, squeezing those glutes to stand up nice and tall. One more time, pressing it back and coming to stand tall. Excellent. Let's go ahead and grab our weights to go into our first exercise. So again, if you don't have dumbbells at home, go ahead and grab a couple of cans or something else that you might have that'll give you a little bit of resistance. If you don't have anything, you can always do these exercises without any weights at all. So we're going to start with those feet about hip width apart to work our upper back. We're going to stand nice and tall with that spine in that neutral position, and then hinge from our hips to bring those weights down below the chest. And the arms are going to come straight out to the side, squeezing the shoulder blades and the back together, reaching those arms out to the side and slowly bringing them down. Remember that we want to work both directions, lifting up and slowly coming down against gravity, making sure that we don't drop those weights down, but we're keeping it nice, smooth, and in control. Good. Keep that belly tucked in strong, supporting that lower back. Let's go 3 more of these, lifting up and lowering down. Let's try 2 more. Good. If we get tired, we can stand up at any point. Good. Roll those shoulders back, standing up nice and tall. Knuckles stay face to the outside. We're going to go into a bicep curl. So curl those arms up and then bring those arms down. Good. Curling it up and bringing it down. Curling it up and bringing it down. As we do this, remember to work against gravity here, slowly coming down. We don't want to drop those weights at any point, but we're slowly bringing it down to come down to our side, bringing it all the way up towards our shoulders and slowly coming down. Good. Nice, smooth, even pace here. We're standing nice and tall, straight up. Knees are soft. You guys look like you have great posture, I can tell. Good. Let's do 2 more of those. And 1 more time. Excellent, good. We're gonna go into a lunge now. So we have the option to keep holding on to those weights if we want to, or you can set them down to the floor, your choice. We're gonna start by stepping that left foot back in behind us. As you do this, make sure that both toes are pointed forward, like your legs are standing on railroad tracks, not a tightrope, so we don't want them one behind each other, but separated just a little bit right here. From here, we're going to bend that back leg and come down to the floor and come back up. We're going to bend down and come up. Good. As you do that, that front knee stays right over that ankle. That back knee can dip down towards the floor if you want, or you can go just down an inch or 2. You choose how difficult you want this to be. Now, if you feel like your arms need a little bit of extra work while you're doing this, we can lift those arms up to a T and lower back down. Lifting up and bring them back down. Good. Lift and lower. Let's do 2 more of those. And 1 more time. Excellent. Step those legs together. Shake those legs out a little bit. And let's repeat those first 2 exercises. Standing tall, bending from those hips. Bring those weights down. And again, reverse fly, taking those arms out to the side and bringing them down. Taking it out to the side and bringing them down. Good. Open them and close. Squeezing those shoulder blades together each time you lift those weights up. Arms reaching long by your side. Good. Let's go 3 more of these. Make sure you're keeping that belly tucked in towards that spine. Good. Lifting up. And 1 more time. Excellent. Roll those shoulders back, standing nice and tall onto those bicep curls again. So curl it up and bring it down. Good. Lifting up and bring it down. Curling up, weights come up to that shoulder, slowly bring them down to the side. Make sure you're keeping those knees nice and soft. We're standing nice and tall, right? What song are you singing? I'm singing something from a Broadway tune. Can you guess which one? Maybe. Yeah, it was Oklahoma, you got it. Good, let's do 2 more of those. 1 more time. Excellent. We're going to do those lunges this time on the other side. So take that right leg back behind you. Again, make sure that they're split on those railroad tracks. And now drop those hips down and bringing it up. Bend that back knee, bringing it up. Take that knee down as close to the floor as you feel comfortable. Remember, if you only want to go down an inch or 2, that's fine. If you want to add that lateral raise now with those shoulders, you can. Option to add, or option to just hold the weights there, or option to set those weights down and just lunge there with those hands on those hips or hands to the side. Your choice. You choose your level, how hard you need to work. Let's do 2 more of those. And 1 more time. Good, and bringing it back up. Grab those weights if you set them down, and if you haven't, you can go ahead and grab them in front of you. We're gonna take those feet again, hip width apart. We're gonna do one more exercise for our back here. So standing nice and tall, let's bend from those hips. Bring those weights down below the chest. Knuckles are facing towards me or towards your TV. And let's pull those arms up, elbows bent up high, and then bring the weights down. Bend the elbows and bringing it up high and bring it back down. Good, squeeze those shoulder blades together and bring the weight down. Belly's pulling in tight, supporting that lower back as you pull those weights up and bring them down. Pull them up and bring them down. Excellent. Good, let's do one more of those. And roll those shoulders back, standing nice and tall. We're gonna go into triceps now. I'm gonna stand sideways so that you can see this one here. So from here, we want to slightly bend our hips forward just a tiny bit as we bend the elbows and bring those elbows back behind us. You'll see that that weight is right there at our hip. We're gonna hinge from the elbow to the weight as we kick that weight back and then bring it to our hip. Kick that weight back and bring it to our hip. Each time we straighten that arm out behind us, we're squeezing that tricep muscle in the back of the arm before we bring that weight in. We want to make sure that we're not bringing those weights all the way out in front of us, because right now we're focusing on that tricep muscle in the back of our arm. We already grabbed those bicep muscles on that first exercise, so focusing right here on the back of the arm. Excellent. Let's do 3 more of these. Good, and 2 more. Last one. Excellent. Bring those weights down. We're going to do those 2 exercises one more time. So let's bend from those hips, bringing those weights down, knuckles face towards me. Bring those elbows high to the side and bring them down. Pulling up and bringing it down. Pulling up and down. Good. Up and down. Squeeze those shoulder blades, keeping that spine reaching long, making sure we're not allowing that back to arch or to round, but we're keeping those abdominals pulled in strong. Let's do 3 more of these. And 1 more. Excellent. Roll those shoulders back, stand nice and tall. Let's do 1 more set of those tricep exercises just like we did. So bend those elbows, bringing them back behind you. Weights right by those hips and press back behind and to the hip. Press behind and to the hip. Good. Extend and curl. Extend and curl. Looking good. Good. And with this, remembering, even if we don't have a heavy weight, we can still squeeze that tricep muscle each time we take that weight back to make sure that that tricep muscle feels that work as we're extending back. Let's go. 3 more, 2 more, and last one. Excellent. Let's take those weights down to the floor and give them a rest. And if you haven't grabbed your water yet, grab that water and take a drink. It's very important to make sure that we're staying hydrated throughout our whole exercise so we don't get dehydrated. We're now going to move on to our jug or our big weight. So if you have a big jug, you can use that. If you don't, you could always take just a single weight, whatever's going to work best for you, or you can do this with nothing. So we're going to start by doing our squats just like we did in the warm-up. So our feet are going to be hip width apart, maybe a little bit wider. We're going to hold on to that jug, and we're going to push those hips back behind us, and then standing up tall. Good. That jug just creates that extra resistance each time we go into that squat. Sitting down and coming back up. Remember, we want to make sure those knees don't go over those toes, right? We're keeping them pressed back behind. Also, we can do just a mini squat here if we want. Right here, we can keep it easy for ourselves, or we can go super deep, or somewhere in between. So we have lots of choices here, whatever's going to work for us, right? Pushing back, squeeze those glute muscles each time you stand up. Good. Let's do 2 more here, and last one. Excellent. Now standing tall, we're going to take that jug and we're going to pretend like we need to put it up on a high shelf, right? So we're going to lift it up overhead and then we're going to bring it back down. We're going to lift it up overhead and bring it back down. You ever had to get anything from on top of your fridge, right? So think about that. You're reaching up to grab it and you're bringing it down. Good. And we do this using both arms equally. So we keep those muscles equal on both sides. Lifting it up and bringing it back down. Good, lifting up and bringing down. Reaching, let's go one more. Excellent, good. Now let's take those feet a little bit wider apart, and this time we're gonna take those toes and point them to the corners of the room. And we're gonna do what's called a plie squat. So with this one, our hips are gonna go straight down towards the floor. Our knees are going towards the corner, towards the toes, but they don't go over those toes. So we're gonna take it down and then coming up. Same thing, just holding that jug right there. Good. We can take it down just an inch or two, or take it down deep, our choice. When we go into this plie squat, we're working a little bit more of those inner thighs and not just our quads and our hamstrings here. Keeping those shoulders right over those hips. So instead of sitting back like we do in our regular squat, those hips go straight down. Good, let's go one more time. Excellent, good. Let's bring those toes in a little bit back to our squat position here. We're gonna keep holding on to that jug, or if you wanna switch to just a single weight or no weights at all, we're gonna work that torso a little bit. So with this jug centered right there between your shoulders, we're gonna twist over to one side and then back to the center. Twisting over to the other side and back to the center. So it's side and center, side and center. As we do this, notice that my torso is twisting, so that weight, or that jug, whatever you have, is right there in between both shoulders. So I'm not just moving the jug like this, but I'm twisting from that torso, working those obliques and those abdominal muscles as I'm doing this. Good, side and center, side and center, excellent. Good, one more time here. Fantastic. Now can we go through and do those 4 exercises again, just like we did, starting with the squat. So we're gonna hold that weight and we're gonna push those hips back like we're sitting in a chair, and then we stand up tall, push those hips back and standing tall. So now's my cue to start singing maybe? No, let's not. Let's imagine that we're listening to the Beatles though. How about that one? Yep, sitting those hips back and standing tall. Good. Let's try 3 more of those. Each time standing up nice and tall. Good, one more time. All right, let's put that milk or water up on top of the fridge, reaching up tall and bringing it down. Reaching up tall and bringing it down. Excellent, good. Making sure we're not locking those knees out, but just standing up nice and tall. Excellent, good. Reaching up and bring it down. Reaching up and bring it down, good. Let's go 2 more of those. And last one. Excellent, take those feet a little bit wider apart. We're gonna go into that plie squat, toes pointing to the corner. Those knees are gonna go towards those toes as we take it down and coming to standing. Taking it down and back up, good. Hips are staying right there in the center, shoulders right over those hips. As we take it down, squeeze with those inner thighs and those glutes each time we stand up. Excellent. Good. Let's go 4 more here. 3 more. Last 2. And 1. Excellent. Bring those feet in a little bit closer when we go into that torso exercise. Again, taking that jug right in front of you. And we're going to go side and center, side and center. Side and center, side and center, good. Thinking about really pulling those abdominals in, twisting from that torso. Those shoulders are staying centered right there with that jug in the middle or that weight in the middle. And again, this is an exercise you can even do with nothing in your hands and just focusing on pulling those abdominals in and twisting from the center of your body. Excellent, side and center. Let's go 1 more each way. Fantastic work. Let's set that jug down. Give ourselves a break. Woo! Should we grab another drink of water? I think I should. You should too. Again, make sure you have that water close by so we stay hydrated throughout our exercise. We're going to go into our balance exercise, so we don't need any equipment for this one. For this one, we're going to press our weight into that left foot, and that right foot is going to come lifted off the ground. Now, if you are balance challenged, you may want to grab a chair or the wall or something to catch your balance. You can always put your hands out. If you feel pretty confident about your balance, go ahead and put those hands on your hips. We're gonna lift that right leg up off of the floor. If you can get it up to that hip height right here, go ahead and do that. If not, you can have it lifted just an inch or two off the floor, your choice. Whatever height you choose from here, we're gonna tap it down to the floor and bring it up. Tap it down and bring it up. Down and up, down and up. Excellent. As we do this, we are strengthening that ankle on the left-hand side. We're also strengthening this quad muscle right there on the right-hand side. Each time we lift it up, making sure we don't press any weight into that right foot as it comes down to the floor. It's just barely tapping. It's all our body weight is on this left side. Good. Let's go 4 and 3, 2, and 1. Excellent. Take it down, shake those legs out a little bit, and let's switch sides. Let's push that weight into that right leg this time. The left leg comes up and taking it out, whatever height you want to start at, and we're going to tap it down and bring it up. Tap it down and bring it up. Good. Again, making sure that we're not letting our weight fall into that left leg, but everything is in that right leg. As we do that, we're strengthening our ankle. We're also challenging that balance, having to stand on one leg and one leg only. Excellent, good. And if this feels too easy for you, my challenge to you, close your eyes and try it. See how that works for you. Make sure you've got something to grab though, just in case you lose that balance. Or open those eyes really quick. Make sure we don't fall over. Soft objects all around us, right? Good. Let's do 2 more and 1 more. Excellent. Shake those legs out. Fantastic. Now my Friday group knows that we always in our senior fitness class do push-ups. So it's push-up time. I'm going to give you a couple different options though if you're not used to doing push-ups. So if you have a chair, you can do them on a chair. Simply taking your hands on the side of the chair with your feet out here, and you can bring that chest down. If you can come all the way down to the chair, go ahead and do that. But if you can only go a couple inches, that's okay too, wherever you can start. You also have the option to do the same thing against a wall. So if I had a wall right here, I could push that chest down to the wall. Note that when you're doing it on the wall, the closer your feet are to the wall, the easier it's going to be. So as I move those feet away from the wall, it's going to make it a little bit harder. Now, for the most challenging level, we could take it all the way to the ground. So if we come to the ground, we can do push-ups here on our toes and our hands, or we can bring it down to our knees. And again, we can come all the way down to the floor, or just a couple inches if this is the only place that we can go to right now. We're going to work at whatever level that we're at. Our goal is to try to do 10 push-ups at whatever level you're at. So choose that level and knock out those 10 push-ups. Again, you can come back to the chair if one level is too hard for you and you need to try an easier level. Good. Did everybody get your 10 in? If not, my regulars always know too, that's a good opportunity for a water break. So now that you've had your water and your 10 push-ups, we're going to do those 2 things just one more time, all right? So starting with our balance, and we're going to change it up a little bit this time. So again, we're going to push that weight into that left foot. We're going to take that right foot up, whatever height we want it to be there. And from here, instead of tapping it down, we're going to kick that leg out. We're going to kick that leg out. Excellent, good. So from here, our knee and our hip are staying at the same height, and we're just hinging from the knee down to the ankle. If this is too hard, we can also take it down here at a lower level. So we can choose whatever height works for us. The higher that knee is lifted, the more you're going to feel that across that quadricep muscle. Good. 2 more. 1 last time. Excellent. Take it down, shake those legs a little bit. We got to even it out. Do the other side, right? So put that weight into that right foot. Left leg comes up this time, whatever height feels comfortable for you. And extend that leg out. Kicking it out and kicking it out. Good. If you need that balance, take those arms out or grab that chair or that wall. Good. Continue to hinge right there from that knee joint, kicking out and extending. Hopefully you're feeling this in your quad right now. Yep, and probably in that ankle too. on that right side as it's balancing and holding you there in this position. Last two and last one. Excellent. Take it down, shake those legs out. Let's go into set 2 of our push-ups. Now you don't have to do the same kind of push-up you did the first time. We are still going to try to do 10 of them, but you can choose if you want to do it against a wall this time, or if you want to go back to that chair and do it on the chair. Again, bringing that chest down. We want to be straight as a board from the head down to the toes, or if we're on our knees, head down to the knees. Bring that chest down to the floor if we're able to, or as close to it as we can get. I lost count. How many did I do? At least 10, I hope. Hopefully you did too. So grab some water if you haven't already done so before we go into our next set. This set, we're going to use a towel. Now, I know we haven't used a towel before in our Friday class. We've used resistance bands before. This is going to work a little bit different though, because it doesn't stretch the way a resistance band does, but we can still use it for resistance. So you're going to take that towel, one in each hand, and every time you're holding that towel, you want to think about slightly pulling out on it. If I just hold my towel like this, I'm not really doing much work, but as soon as I try to put a little bit of tension on that towel, that's where the work is going to begin. So we're going to start right here with the towel straight out in front of us, our arms reaching out in front, and we're going to bend our elbows and bring that towel to our chest. So as we do this, we should feel ourselves trying to pull that towel apart just ever so slightly, and then bringing it forward. So we're pulling in and pushing away. As we do this, you should feel those shoulder blades squeezing together in the back, making sure that we're keeping those shoulders down. So we don't want the shoulders to come up here by our ears, but staying down and relaxed as we pull that towel in and push it away, bringing it in and pushing it away. Good, pulling in and out, and in and out. Excellent, 2 more, and 1 more. Excellent, good. Now we're gonna leave that that towel right there in front of us, and we're gonna go into a lunge. Last time we did lunges on one side and then the other. Now we're gonna alternate it. So from here, you're gonna start with that left leg, stepping way back into that lunge position, lunging it down, coming up, and then stepping your feet together. And then same thing on the other side, stepping back, taking it down, coming up, and stepping together. Take it back, lunge down, up, and together, alternating sides. Good. Now we're going to add the arm movement, and if you want, stepping that leg back as you lunge down, bring that towel up and together. Step it back, towel comes up, down, and together. Good. As we do this, remember we're gently pulling that towel apart, so we're feeling that work in the upper body as well as that lower body. Now, if this is too much for us to do and there's too much balance happening, you can simply leave it right there with that towel out in front of you, or you can set that towel down and simply use your arms to balance you to go into that alternating lunge. Your choice. Let's do 2 more, 1 on each side. Good, last one. Excellent, good. Let's take that towel again right there between our hands, and we're gonna take it up in that up position where we were for our lunge, and we're gonna bring it down to our chest. So kind of like we did when it was straight forward, but we're bringing it up at a different angle, and then down to the chest. Reaching tall, and then bringing it down. Good, reaching up, pulling that towel apart, squeezing those shoulder blades together. Good, reaching that towel long, reaching up, bringing it up and down, up and down. Excellent, good. Let's do 2 more of those. Squeeze those shoulder blades together. Last one. Good. Bring that towel down by your side, and we're gonna do a side lunge here. We're gonna do it without the towel first, and then I'll show you how to add that towel in if we want to. So we're gonna start by bringing those feet together, and we're gonna lunge over to the side, so taking that left foot out to the side. As we do this, most of our weight is pushing into that outside foot. The inside leg is straight and very little body weight there. So about 70 to 80% of our body weight here, and the rest is in that outside leg. Then we're gonna push back to the center. Same thing, same side. Pushing over to the side, and then back to the center. This helps us so that we can get used to moving in a lateral way, So if ever we lose our balance or we get pushed off to the side, we know how to come back to center. Now, if we want to use that towel, same thing, we can pull that towel there, and as we lunge to the side, we simply put that towel off to the side and back to center. Off to the side and back to center. So again, option to do it with the towel or without the towel, and simply putting those hands on that waist or pressing into that upper thigh each time we head off to the side. Good, let's do 2 more. One last time. Excellent, good. Let's take that towel up above us one more time for that lat pull down, bringing that towel down to the chest and bringing it up. Good, bringing it down and up. Remember to squeeze those shoulder blades together. Reach the arms long up overhead. Good. Making sure that we're keeping those knees soft and we're standing tall through this movement. Excellent. Good. Let's go 3 more of those. Each time pulling that towel apart just a little bit more. Excellent, good. Bring that towel down. We're gonna do our lunges, this time over to the right-hand side. Again, we can do it with that towel or you can drop the towel. So as we push over to the side and back to the center, over to the side and back to the center. Right here, or again, right there, hands on the hips, or hands on that thigh as you come out. Body weight presses into that right side and then pushing us back to the center. Good, straightening that left leg each time we lunge over to the side. Excellent. Let's try 2 more of those. And 1 more. Excellent, very good work everyone. Let's take that towel, set that aside. One last water break if you need it before we head to the floor, and we're gonna do some abdominal work. So if you don't have a mat, if you have a rug or carpet, anything that will be comfortable on the floor at your house, we're gonna go ahead and come down to the floor, and we're gonna bend our knees so our feet are gonna be flat on the floor. We're gonna take those hands behind our head, pulling those abdominals in strong. We're gonna gently lift the head and shoulders off of the floor and then bringing them down, lifting it up and lower down, lifting it up and bringing it down. Lift and lower, lift and lower. Excellent. As we do this, try not to let that head and shoulders rest on the floor, but each time keeping those abdominals nice and contracted with each lift. Let's go 4 more. Excellent. 3, 2, and 1. Excellent. Extend those legs and arms out, stretching those abdominals long. Good. And then bring the arms down to the side, and we're going to roll over onto the front side. As we roll over onto the front side, we're going to be on our hands and knees. So our hands are going to be right underneath those shoulders. Our knees are right underneath those hips. And you want to keep that spine in that neutral position, making sure that we're not overarching our back or our spine. From here, we're going to take that right arm and left leg and extend them out in opposite directions. Now we want those shoulders to be level and those hips to be level. So making sure that we don't tip sideways like this or let that hip come up, but that we're level from here. Taking nice deep breaths in and out, reaching and extending that foot and hand like you're trying to stretch your body and reach for opposite walls. So we're working on a little bit of balance here as well as stretching and lengthening our body. And then lowering that arm and foot down, and let's switch to the other side. Same thing, keeping that spine in that neutral position. Extend that leg out, reaching the arm out, same thing. Keeping that spine in that neutral as you pull those abdominals in to support that lower back. And that spine staying steady. Good. Taking deep breaths in and out. Excellent. And lowering that hand down. We're going to now go into our plank position. So for our usual on Friday class, I give you all the option of doing a 30, 45, or 60-second plank. We're going to do the same thing today. So I'll give you those times and those different positions that we can pick. So if you want to be on your hands and knees, you simply walk those hands out, drop those hips down so that your head is in line with the knees, or you can come up to your toes so you're as straight straight line from the head down to the toes. Option also to come down to those forearms and do the same thing on your knees or your toes. So choosing your position, whichever one works best for you, and taking that position from here, shoulders are going to press down away from the ears. We're pulling those abdominals in strong and remembering a straight line from the knees to the top of the head or from the toes to the top of the head. Thinking about pulling those abdominals in strong, taking deep breaths in and out. Shoulders are pressed down away from the ears, and we're lengthening our body right here. Good. Right there's our 30-second goal. So if that's your goal, go ahead and take one knee down and the other one, and then push those hips back over the heels. If you want to keep going, focus on that breath. Continue to pull those abdominals in. And right there, we've hit our 45-second goal. Excellent work, everyone. If you decide you want to take a quick break and come back and join us, you also have that option. I'm not watching you, so I won't know. But we're almost there. One last deep breath. Excellent. Bring those knees down. Push those heels back. Good. And stretch through that back. Let's walk our hands over to one side, stretching through the torso on one side. And then stretching over to the other side. Good, and then back to the center. Let's take it sitting on the mat now, and we're gonna finish out. With those legs straight in front of us, take a deep breath up, reach for the ceiling, and a big exhale. Walk those hands behind you. Gently press that chest forward, squeezing the shoulder blades together. You can gently look up towards the ceiling. Shoulders are staying down, but we're opening up that chest and stretching it out. Deep breath in and out. Good. Walk those hands back in. Let's take one arm across. Hug that arm in, shoulders pressing down. Now you guys did great work today. I'm so proud if you made it through all the way through class. I know you did. But if you feel like it wasn't enough, you know what? You could watch it again and do it again. Let's switch arms, take it across. Pull that arm in. Good. Stretching that shoulder as that arm comes across your body. Hopefully now you've switched your music. We're on to Frank Sinatra now. Yep. All right, let's release that arm. Let's take it overhead. We're going to stretch that tricep muscle so you can either press in front or overhead, whatever's going to be available to you. Feeling that stretch down the front of that arm. Excellent. Now we could stay here all day and stretch, right? Yeah, we're just doing a quick stretch here. So please feel free on your own to do a little bit more stretch as you have that extra time at home, right? I think you can click onto one of our other instructors and take one of our yoga classes. Wouldn't that be great? Yeah. So you can enjoy all of our different instructors and all the different posts that we're going to put out there for y'all. So you can stay connected to us. Good, release that arm. One last stretch for our legs. Take the sole of one foot in towards that straight leg. If you can't take it all the way up here, you can take it down here or over here, whatever is available to you. Bend from those hips, reach forward. Grab that leg, that thigh, whatever you can. Feel that stretch in the back of that leg. Excellent. Hopefully that heart rate has come down. Your body's going to start cooling off as we stretch it out here. Excellent. Sitting up, and let's switch. Other side. One last time. Switching legs, bend from those hips, and reach it down. Now, as I mentioned in the beginning class, and all of y'all know, I love me some Broadway mixes. So instead of going to see a Broadway show, we're going to sit home and watch some of the oldies. So this weekend, I'm looking forward to West Side Story with my kids. They've never seen it, so you can give me a shout out. What's your favorite home Broadway show to watch? And we'll put that on the list. Good. Sitting up nice and tall, taking both legs out. One last deep breath up, and a big exhale. Good. If we want to stand up, we can pull those knees out from underneath us. On our hands and knees, walk those hands back to our toes, coming all the way up to standing. And wonderful work to all of you. Thank you for being with me today. I had a lot of fun. I hope you did too. Take care.